Yes. Set everything up and then completely forgot. Oh yeah, I've actually started streaming now. So, just angle the mic. Right, hello everyone. I'm Phoenix and welcome to me with a little bit still of a croaky voice. I've been ill for the past 4 weeks, so not really feeling much like streaming because it stresses my voice and my voice has not been good. So, I thought I would do some Icarus. I say do some Icarus. I've played some Icarus prior to this. I'm now at level 11. After playing for about, maybe a total of not even a day, to be perfectly honest. I thought I would do a video on quite what this is, because it's different. It's not quite what you might expect. So obviously this game has been brought to us by Rocketworks. It's Rocketworks, isn't it? Yeah. The developer is Rocketworks, and I think the dev Dean Hall goes by something Rocket to Guns. I think that's his tag on Steam. Anyway, made by Dean Hall, who is obviously known for DayZ and the failure of DayZ, and people kind of then tend to say, oh, it's just another Dean Hall game, it's going to be terrible, or it's going to be abandoned, or whatever. And it's like, well, look, one game. He had one game that failed. To be fair, he left the project, and then the publishers who had a game didn't really do much with it. He left and he formed his own company. So far now he's released 3 games to release. He's got one game on early access, and there's another game that is due to be released 2022. Looks fairly simplistic, something like along the lines of like Transport Tycoon style of game. But this is Icarus. This is the one that he's made. It's released yesterday, and the interesting thing about this is that the design concept is that of what Stationeers was meant to be. That is to say, you are a person on a space station, and you progress by going on away missions. So, if I go to my loadout, what you'll notice is, well, you start with that. You just start with a bog standard suit. And if you go to your workshop, you can see we've got a couple of currencies up here. One of them is, that one's exotic, and that one's just sort of general currency. And you get currency by doing missions, and you get the exotics by mining it out of the ground, I believe. I've not seen any yet. And what you can see is I've just bought a couple of things. I've bought the better suit and the micro mill, and I've actually crafted one as well, so I can take that on my next mission. Boom. You can only take things with you that you've bought through the workshop. You can't bring anything back with you. This is where it gets interesting. So let's get a new prospect going. What do we got? Blaze trail to the canyons. I want something a little bit sort of. That one might be good. Track down rare biosamples. That might be alright. What else do we have? High density geotectonic scans. That sounds worryingly like someone going near caves. No, not exterminate. I'm really not ready for something like that. General access to UDA approved. I could do an exploration. That's a long one as well. Yeah, let's do that. I don't know what are my rewards. Oh, there are apparently no rewards for this. It's just you get access to a region. Yeah, sure. Confirm. Change that to private. And off we go. It's kind of like online. There is an offline mode, which just puts you offline and all your data is cached locally. I'm just using the multiplayer because whatever, it doesn't matter. I can private my session so nobody can join, and yeah, there isn't an option to join randoms, which some people may like, some people might not. But yeah, there is obviously the friends option. So if you had like a group that you play with, other games with, you could, you can still play Icarus in like a group like that. But the thing that I would kind of associate with this with is something like Ark, in a strange way. There's everything that we're going to be doing in a minute is like first days of Ark. But the interesting thing is that as you level up, and as you unlock skills, these skills always remain with you. The only thing that is new each time is the map. So each time you land, you're building a new base. But you might not be but you might be building a new base using the materials with the skills that you've learnt when you were here previously, which I find interesting, because to me the interesting thing about any sort of survival is the start. I enjoy, setting up bases. But when everything's just sort of ticking along normally, you've got no real reason to keep going. Right, a few things I will talk about at this point. Yeah, the graphics aren't. They went for a fairly realistic approach. The problem is that an awful lot of the hardware that's out there right now, if you can get hold of it, then great. Most people can't get hold of it. So this is just an exploration. I don't think I've actually got much more of a mission other than just explore. Just do what you want. So you just get access to a region and you can do whatever you want for 30 days. Okay, so there's no actual mission here, as it turns out. I can start and leave at any time. There's other missions that you go on where you would actually get a cash reward for. So the last one I did was like planting these radar beacons. But let's get started. Let's actually. So first things first, I need to build some basic tools because I've not been able to bring any tools with me. Not yet. I haven't unlocked the ability to do that yet, but the benefit of doing this, just doing one of these, is that I'm still gaining something for doing this because I'm gaining experience. Experience means blueprints, so that when you do go off on a wild ride somewhere, you have the ability to make the tools that you need in order to do what you need to do. You don't see these sorts of games very often. Mainly because they're not sorts of games that people necessarily want to play. People like sort of games where you are proceeding through. You always have a goal. Stuff like Fallout 4. You start off coming out of the vault. You go down to Sanctuary Hills. You build up Sanctuary Hills. Sanctuary Hills is then doing well. And then you just basically continue on through the story. And as you go through the Commonwealth, you just build things, or you don't, or you basically do whatever you want, really. But there's this constant cycle of progression, and you don't necessarily need to go back to Sanctuary Hills after a certain point, because why would you? There's nothing there. There's nothing to. Once you've gone around all the spots around Sanctuary Hills, pulling all the junk in and making sure you've got a supply line up, you don't need to go back. So why would you bother? And this, I I think this kind of captures a little bit of that sort of that, I don't know, it's just sort of this thing about this game where it's like, well, each time you go back, you're going back onto a fresh map, but you're not building with the same stuff that you had before. I don't know, it's just something just a little bit different. Not hugely different, but just a little. We should talk about some of the downsides that you may have seen already. This game is not running at 60 frames a second, it's running at 40 for me. I'm using default settings. This is possibly my only sort of criticism about this game. Not the performance per se, but the visuals. The visuals don't look that great for this sort of game. As I just mentioned, you know, if you can run it on the sort of the recommended hardware, then great. I'm not on recommended. I'm on somewhere between min and rec. I've got a decent processor in it, but the graphics card is a 1660 Ti, which ain't a bad card for most things. For a game like this, yeah, you probably want maybe a little bit more grunt, like a 2070 or 2080, something along those lines. You probably want a 2 series. So the problem that I have, the only real problem that I have with this game, you know, I like everything else about it, but yeah, so the visuals. It doesn't look great because everything looks very, you know, everything looks very fuzzy. Now it's fine, you know, it is what it is, and as long as the game is running above 24, I'm fine with it, because I came from that generation where things generally ran at about, well, you were lucky if you got to 30 in general. Let's kill a wolf here. Wolves, of course, give fur, leather, bones, and meat. And then to get more bone, hit it with a pickaxe, and you get more bone. And you need bone because the starting... because you can get the bone knife and the bone spear, which is an awful lot better than the stone stuff, obviously. I don't need that anymore. Oh, goodness. No, just... excuse me while I just destroy that. But of course I do need to make a bit of a base. So I've got a nice spot here. You know, I like this spot in general. Last map I built on that island there. This is quite a nice spot for a main base. Oh, there's another wolf there. Let's see if this always goes horribly wrong. Yeah, and this time was no different. I always miss. It's fine. Oh god. I'm bleeding. Alright, okay, we'll deal with that in a second. Thankfully, bleeding doesn't mean that you're, like, losing health. It just means that you're not gaining any health. It's like you've taken a bit of a scratch. You know, 'tis but a scratch and all that. There is another wolf here. There we go. Right. I think that's all of them. Wolves on their own aren't that scary. A single wolf, you know, a single wolf at 27 isn't scary at all. You know, you just get yourself a stone knife or attack it with the axe and you'll be fine. In a pack, they're a lot more dangerous. Oh, come on. Right, there we go. Let's get building, shall we? So, when you start, you are going to be using thatch. Thatch is fine. It will do the job. but in sort of windstorms, it's you're not going to have a good time. Let's get those in. Really, what you want is wood. Wood is an awful lot better. It's a higher tier resource, so obviously it's going to be better. Right, let's get these done. Everything has a certain level of structural integrity. So obviously you have to take that into account when building your structures. So everything needs to be supported with supports. You can add more supports or less. Well, yeah, you can. It's in a sort of a grid-based system for your structural pieces, but your interior stuff can just be placed wherever. As I will shortly be doing. So I've got a crafting bench here and an oxidizer. Crafting bench, obviously, to craft more advanced things, and an oxidizer is used to make oxygen from oxide that is just sort of around and about. Obviously, we need to actually build a structure here, so that's what I'm basically doing at the moment. Just grabbing stuff, chopping wood, getting more experience. I think the next big one is level 15. So, okay, so we'll just have a quick look at tech tree. So this is our tech tree. Separated into tier 1, which is just sort of quite a lot of just basic things, basic sort of building pieces and the like. Healthcare, sort of general healthcare, and sort of your bows and the like. Tier 2 is stuff that will require a crafting bench to craft, which is why I've just made a crafting bench. Only this one's going to be a little bit more of a mansion, I think, because I can. There are also things called outposts, which are on a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer map. They are persistent, they don't go away. There are no time limits on those, you can just basically build what you want. I've not touched them. I've heard about them and I just kind of felt, well, yeah, okay, so they are there for people who want a little bit more of a, build a mansion and it's always going to be there when you come back to it, whereas the standard gameplay is a little bit more designed towards people who are just basically building little outposts. That's the idea of this. You come into a mission area, you build an outpost, and then you move on from there. You do your mission, and yeah. So, I need a fire pit. There's stone there. So I'm going to start suffering from. Right, I need oxygen. That's oxygen. Just grab some of that. Right. And I need lots of stone. I've also got stamina to worry about, so. And of course, when everything's said and done, when you are ready to go, you just get into your dropship and you leave. And anything you have on you gets left behind. And and the world just resets behind you. Which, yeah, I'm okay about. So yeah, I mean, I'll just knocking back to the graphics front, because I did mean to mention this. So I would have actually preferred them to have maybe gone for a little bit more like a Subnautica look, or even Stationair's look. It's something that was a little bit less realistic, because hardware these days, people are just kind of having to make do with what they have, and that's tricky for a lot of people. You know, whatever you had pretty much before before the pandemic really sort of hit, is what an awful lot of people are just stuck with. I got lucky. I bought my 1660 when it was very, very clear that we were going to be stuck inside for a while. And that was just before the entire market went nuts. And I'm sure there's other people who are feeling very lucky with, you know, they upgraded just before everything went to hell. Right, okay, we have, quickly consume those because they're, and I will quickly consume that stack as well. Crafting wise, I'm just going to quickly craft that, and craft that fire pit. So I need arms and legs. That's my arms. So I just need fibre for the legs. And cloth armour is obviously not that great, but it's an extra layer, so that when the storms come in, I don't take quite so much exposure damage. And of course, everything that I'm doing, very much sort of like Ark. Playing this, you do certainly get that. I think Ark was probably quite a big influence for this game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Ark was a reasonable game all in all. I think it certainly had its issues. It suffered a lot from the idea that, it didn't run very well on anybody's system. I tried to run it on this machine. You know, it was okay. It wasn't. You know, it had a lot of issues, performance issues, colossal performance issues. I found. I think Nerdcubed ran it on his rig. You know, he played it previously and it hadn't run very well, and played it on this new super rig that he had, and it still didn't run very well. Raw meat goes off, by the way. That's why I've now got spoiled meat. Obviously, try not to eat the spoiled meat. You can get diseases from all sorts of things in this world. Even just drinking, and you know, for whatever reason, the roll gives you dysentery. You get dysentery, which is fun. Right, we really need to build this house out. See, when I placed that one, it was orange, yellow. It was yellow. That means that it's going to start suffering from not being supported. So we will want some of these. So that's now going to support that structure a little. I have to say though, I am enjoying it. You know, I am enjoying the game. It's a nice style. It's a slightly different take on a genre that, while I adore the survival genre, it's starting to become a little stale. because I don't know. It's one of those things that it's very easy to get very, very wrong. Plus, that so many games they're just like, oh yeah, zombies, and it's like, oh, I'm bored with zombies now. I mean, things like 7 Days to Die, great game. I just wish that they'd finish it. That game's been in development now since 2000 and something or other. It's been like over 10 years, I expect. Something like 14 years in development or something along those lines, I seem to remember. And you just think, oh, for goodness sake, just, it's still alpha. Because they can't stop, they can't work out how to, they want to keep working on it. Even though I suspect it's not bringing them any more money by now. Everybody who was going to buy it has bought it. It is a very good game, but at some point I feel like there needs to be a 7 Days to Die 2 where something fresh for them to work on. Right. Okay. So top tip for if you start playing this, first time you land, basically just deforest everything, because trees give you 300 experience. So yeah, and that seems to be the most sort of bulk experience you're going to get. Recently, little fibrous. Oh god, it's a weather event. Oh, it's minor winds. That's fine. We should be ready for that, actually. It's one of those times that you just hope that the weather event is going to be nice and not drop like a rainstorm or something on you. But no, it's so far it's behaving. I bet it's just fibers I need. Let's quickly oh, I bet. Oh, wow. Not entirely sure what's happened here, but I'm hoping that it's just become damaged because a tree fell on it. I'll get the walls done, and then let's make sure that the supports are up. Wood beams max. Oh god, where did that one end up? Not entirely sure. That was not a good sound. Yeah, just from behind me, there's all this cracking. I was like, oh god, what's happening? Looks to be okay, actually. Well, apart from the fact that that this is all collapsed a bit, and the workbench and the oxidizer that I built has gone missing. Apart from that, everything looks fine. Right, fibre and leather. No, I need a repair tool for that. What do I need for the repair tool? Fibres. Right, let's just get okay. There we go. That's looking a little bit better. Oh, what am I missing? It's going to be fibres again. It's always fibres. Yes. Not entirely sure how this is all going to go together yet, but kind of got shelter apparently here. Okay. Right. Well, we've kind of got a house. I'm not sure how this one's going to work. This needs to come out. This one needs to come out, I think. Fortunately, there's no actual way to... you have to... So that needs to be a wall. It'll work, I think. Now it's wood I need. This is basically the game. This is the thing. This is basically the game. Sometimes you'll have like missions to do, but an awful lot of it will be just preparing yourself for the mission that's ahead. An awful lot of it will be, right, I need to build a mansion so that I can craft things. And that's pretty much the game. And the sort of the gimmick, I guess, with it is that each time you do your mission, you are basically starting fresh each time. Because you go up top, I've made too many of those, but it doesn't matter. Back's not done. I was about to say the back's done. No, the back's not done. The back is now done. So it's going to go... So we're going to have a little bit of a roof over there, and then we'll have a bit of that. So I just need to destroy that and destroy those. So that hopefully I won't have, will I? Wood. So I just need this, and then a door, and then I need to get some oxide. Do I have some oxide? No, I do not. Right. Let's get that done, because then that's my base done, apart from the door. Right. That. Get a door in. Right, door is in. Oxide. Okay, so that's some oxygen, right? Okay, yeah. I think we're actually in quite a good place now. Or at least we're in a better place than we were, right? So we've got a house. It's okay. I kind of like how that kind of came out. Obviously, these, in a windstorm, these thatch bits are going to get shredded. So, definitely need to look at trying to sort that out. But the next thing to do is actually to rebuild all the bits that basically fell off. I'm going to start with building a nice crates so that I can put my stuff in. Going to crafting again. Right, so yeah, I need to kill some things so that I can get the stuff for that. Those two. And I've got all of that sorted. Yeah, so the crafting bench especially is going to give me some very useful stuff. But and I also need a sleeping bag. So at the moment I can't actually sleep. So we need to go hunting. Now, the sorts of things that I'd look for when I'm hunting, wolves, weirdly, because they can all die as far as I'm concerned. They're annoying. Or the chamois, which, you know, I thought was something that you use from your car. But apparently no, it's a type of deer. So, learned something today. Well, learned something potentially useful today. No, that's going to lose my spear. See, this is why I like wolves, because wolves are ultimately useless. But they will not actually flee when you're trying to stab them to death. They'll fight, and so you can get hold of them a lot easier. Problem is finding them. Hello. Is that a pack of wolves I see there? Or even just one? One or two? There's also a rabbit there, which is an interesting development. That's another chamois. At least I assume it's said in the same way that... Oh, there we go. Might actually be all the leather we need. Yes it is. Excellent. Let's head on back to the mansion, I guess. I am cold. I'm wet. No, there we go. So this is this island, which is quite nice, this island. Oh, there's a wolf there. I'm going to kill you. Oh, God's sake. I'm going to try and kill you, and in fact what's going to happen is I'm going to level up. As a result of that, I almost died there. Wolves can be a little bit tough, especially if it's dark, you can't see them, and they're in a pack, as these ones were. Right, there we go. Okay. I got any cooked meat? I do not. Okay. Well, let's hope we don't get poisoned or something. There's something in the in that river that will poison you. I don't know what it is. Maybe like some kind of I don't know, thing that bites you or something. Some kind of fish, which is not ideal. Right. Crafting. I need some fur. Right. That gets that. So I can't use that unless I have a nearby, like, campfire, basically, or some kind of fire source. I can get that, but right now, I'm thinking what I need to do is get the if I can get the workbench up. Which is going to need stone, wood, and fibre. Right. That should be the fibre. The stone will come from here. I don't actually know how much stone I need. Hold on. That much. That's fine. And then wood, which we would get from a nearby tree. I appreciate that this is probably quite dark. I have the brightness turned up a little bit on my monitor so it's a little easier to see. Just in general, I have it for all games. It's just a little bit easier to see stuff because a lot of games do make themselves very dark. Right. Crafting bench is up again. Alright, so from here we can actually make things. So let's make ourselves an oxide dissolver and then an oxygen bladder if I can. Probably not. I think that's going to take something. Ah, yeah, the leather. That's fine. But I can also just quickly make myself the water skin, which will be very useful. So this basically takes oxide that you put in and turns it in, and I think the oxygen bladder can kind of hook onto these, and then that will give us stuff, thingamabob, oxygen, that's the word. Let's get rid of that. Okay, that's fine. Right, let's have a quick look at the tech tree. Let's close the door. Right, so talents. I'll start off with talents, see if there's anything good in here. Let's see. Combat would probably be a good plan. Is there one for knives? Spears. Oh, here we go. Blades. Increased move speed with a blade. Ooh. Increased melee attack speed. Is there one that reduces... That one might be quite useful. And these are firearms. And these are bows. I'm not really using bows. I'm using spears a little, but really I'd want knives. Knives. Oh, reduce stamina usage with knives. There we go. We'll use that. That will just, we just need 1 point in there, and then we'll be able to unlock that one. That one will be useful. As for tech tree, skinning bench might be useful. This means that we would have to carry the carry it to here. The other thing, well, yeah, fireplace, yes, definitely. Skinning bench, yeah, I think we'll go for that. See if there's anything in tier 1. There is the bone sickle, which, yeah, I'll go with that. It's the last one because I think, in theory, if it works like bone sickles should do, just need some bone, obviously. That will make gathering fibre an awful lot easier. Let's give this a go. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know if that gives me more. Yeah, that looks like that's going to give me. Yeah, that gives me a lot more fibre using the sickle over using my hands. So that's definitely worth having. Right. I need leather. Well, what I'm thinking is, if I get some stone, I can put a campfire in my wooden house, so that I can sleep. Because currently it's pitch black, I can't see. You can make like torches and wall torches and the like, but you are, unlike Ark, where you can hold a torch and use like an axe or something at the same time, you can't do that with this. So it's very much, I could easily build a torch, but actually using it to see, to actually do things. At the moment, I am literally walking up to something that looks vaguely like a rock, and just using the reticle to know that I'm close enough to actually hit it, which is not ideal. It's too dark. So let's get a campfire up. This campfire is going to last as little long as I possibly can. So let's just interact with that. That gives us a bit of that, and then I can sleep. And then immediately, because I found this out in the beta, if you get too close to the campfire, you set yourself on fire. And what happened was, I set myself on fire, and then in the process of me running to the water, which meant that I had to walk through my house, I thus set the entire house on fire, which was not ideal. So yeah, I'm trying not to do that this time. I'm being very, very careful about that. So yeah, I think it's off then to find some leather. That sounds like a good plan. As much as possible. So I want wolves, I want no, I don't want bears. I want wolves and I want mooses. There's a wolf there, the other side of this thing. There's a wolf there as well. I need to sneak up on it. It will not see me coming. Oh, actually, yeah, because we got that skinning bench, didn't we? Oh, damn it, I picked it up. I meant to pick it up, but, oh well, never mind. Should really make that skinning bench. Oh, we've been poisoned. It's that, there's a fish in there that likes to attack you and poison you. So the poison will wear off, but it will just do periodic damage until it does. So, you know, just stay healthy. Also, I'm really low on oxygen and I should really sort that out. So, some oxide here. Okay. Where's... yeah, there's the house. There we go. Got a nice house over the water. And the next thing is the skinning bench, which is probably done in here. Let's see what we got. Skinning bench, here we go. Let's make one of these. Okay, right, so we need to get some sort of carcass and then bring it back home. Oh, hello. Ah, damn it. Yeah, I'm not very good with the spear. If it hits, the wood spear will just outright kill a deer if you're in stealth. Or mostly outright kill a deer when you're in stealth. Oh, for goodness sake. Seriously? It's got my knife in it as well as my spear. Oh, don't. Come back. Bloody dear. I feel like it should be because my stamina's depleted. Because I'm running after this thing because it's got my stuff in it. Yeah, I've lost it. And there's a weather event incoming. Great. Right, I've got two more bone knives now, and yes, let's see if we can find a rabbit. No, I don't want to hold to carry. That's the one. Okay. Oh, there it is. There we go. Right, this one I need to skin. And then I'll carry that because this is just a rabbit. Doesn't matter. No, it is literally just a rabbit. Whereas this one, why can't I pick him up? He's probably too big. Right, fine. I'll skin him. But we should also probably not be outside because this storm is getting quite nasty. So if you're out in the storm for too long, if that storm exposure bar reaches the top, you do then start taking damage. There are ways to sort of mitigate your exposure by, wearing sort of like armor type pieces, but for the most part, if there's a storm, you don't really want to be outside. And okay. So at this point, I've probably shown about as much as there is. There's a sulfur thing there. Okay. Do you need? Oh, okay. So you need sulfur to. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm going to end this this stream here. So with that, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.